Buy cheap and safe NBA 2K22 MT at NBA2King.com. You can use code Excapar, that's EXCAPAR, for 5% off your entire purchase. Alrighty, so we just covered the best badges to add to all the Lunar New Year cards, and now we're going to cover the best badges to add to all of the wonderful, wonderful moments of the month for January. So if you guys are excited, hit the like button down below, and we'll get into it. Now, I'm not going to be doing any of the rubies just because I honestly don't think you really should be using any except for maybe Trey Lyles. We're just going to skip right to the amethyst and continue up on, because honestly, the rubies are just a little meh in my opinion. So anyway, if you guys want to check the Lunar New Year, I'll link down in the description down below so you guys can check all those out. Without further ado, let's just hop right into it. So the first card that we're going to cover is obviously Malik Monk, since he's there first, and he's a 6'3 PG with a 6'5 wingspan, 200 pounds. And Malik Monk has got a simple first badge. Remember, he's an amethyst, so we get 4 badges. That's posterizer. Boom. We have an 85 driving dunk, 85 driving dunk tendency, no posterizer. I mean, put that on. Oh my lord. And then it gets pretty, I guess, simple for those other 3 badges. Clamps, Interceptor, Intimidator. Boom, boom, boom. And 80 still, he has a nice wingspan of 6'5 for a 6'3 guy, so Interceptor is going to be huge. Clamps, I mean, obviously, we all know what Clamps does at this point. And Intimidator is pretty nice. If you didn't want to add an Intimidator, you wanted to have like a dimer because you expect to use Malik Monk as more of a PG. I don't really think that's going to be a great idea, but if you wanted to, you could add dimer out there, although I would stick with just Posterizer, Intimidator, Interceptor, and Clamps. Maybe a Hustler if you wanted to, but yeah, I'm going to just go with those. Mo Bamba's next, and Mo Bamba's interesting. We're 7 foot with a 7'10 wingspan. That is one of the biggest wingspans in the game. Now with Mo Bamba, they decided to nerf him on his Ruby by not giving him a lot of badges, and they did the same exact thing here. I mean, look at this. We can't put Interceptor on Mo Bamba. That is huge L, huge L. But the biggest thing you got to do, I think, with Mo Bamba here, because he's already going to be a good enough shooter. He comes with Sniper. You could add something like Slithery Finisher and Fast Twitch. I think I actually may. We'll have to see how it goes. But the biggest badge you have to add is Rim Protector, because he is a 92 block and he's a 7'10" wingspan player. The Rim Protector, probably the biggest badge you could realistically add to him. And the other 2 that I think you really have to add are Rebound Chaser and Box, because he is your tall center, massive wingspan, stupid tall. And I think that Rim Protector, Rebound Chaser, and Box are going to be massive for how great he plays. And then again, these last badges can kind of be pretty crucial for how great he plays. I think those 3 are really key to him playing that center position great. You could add a post move lockdown if you think he's going to be getting pumped a little bit too much with his 88 or 68 strength. You also could give him a bullet passer so he passes a little bit quicker. Glue hands is also a great badge to add because it gives you those better catch animations and is honestly one of the most slept on badges in the game. Or maybe you want to add a Slithery Finisher because you feel like it's going to help you finish. My personal pick is going to be Rim Protector, Rebound Chaser, Brick Wall, and Glue Hands for his 4 badges, just because I think the catch animations that Glue Hands gives you on pick and pops, pick and rolls is just so much better than what the other badges give you, and it's just insanely good. And I think once you do this, Mo Bamba is going to be a demon. Terence Davis up next, 6'4", 6'8 wingspan, has that nice jump shot 44 on quick. Him and Will Barton's jumper, but he sadly has that base dribble style. Now, first off, posterizer again, we have a 75 driving dunk, 80 driving dunk tendency. Posterizer, boom, easy pick. And then I'm not 100% sure the speeds on Terence Davis's jump shot, but a Deadeye could be something to consider. I would add a quick first step like almost immediately, even though he has that base dribble style. The quick first step is going to help you catch the ball and run by some people on the perimeter. And then I would personally add probably a Clamps and an Intimidator onto him. I just think that works a little better. Or a Clamps and Menace, kind of up to you. Intimidator just helps you play better defense against people on contest, and Menace lowers their stats and their badges when you're on them. But the big key takeaways: Posterizer, quick first step, Clamps, Intimidator. It's kind of just what's going on. That'd be my pick, but Menace is also pretty good. Although, when you're using Terence Davis, I would more use him as like an off-ball catch-and-shoot kind of guy than a primary ball handler. Jared Vanderbilt's up next. Now, Jared Vanderbilt is not the most insane card, but he really does remind me of a Maurice Lucas. And I think the easiest and best thing to do with Jared Vanderbilt here is, even though he has jump shot 1, is boost up his shooting. The first one is actually the key 3 badges, the core 3 shooting badges: catch and shoot, Deadeye, and Sniper. Those 3 automatically are going to make Jared Vanderbilt a great shooter. Catch and shoot and Sniper, obviously just to shoot those open shots, and then Deadeye is going to lower that contest because jump shot 1 on the normal timing is a little bit slow. And luckily he does have all of the great defensive badges that he would need, but my personal pick for this last badge is going to either be Glue Hands or Pick Dodger. Glue Hands, we've talked about how great it is getting those good catch animations, especially out on the perimeter, but another one that could really be helpful is Pick Dodger. Now, this Vanderbilt is a great all-around defender, super versatile defender, and, you know, you might want to throw him on the shooting guard or the small forward if they're really cooking you up, you know, maybe KD, for example, at that small forward position, and Pick Dodger can help, you know, get through those screens a little bit better. That's personally up to you. I still think I would probably lean towards Glue Hands. It's such a good badge. But once you do that, Vanderbilt actually is a really, really good card because of how great he is defensively. Next up, we got Ayo. I'm going to call him that. It's stupid, but I'm going to do it. We got 6'4" with a 6'10" wingspan. And first off, Posterizer. They don't like giving Posterizer this year. It's like, I don't know, it's just their thing. He's got jump shot 37 on the normal timing. It's not bad. Quick, Jay Williams. And he has a 95 driving dunk tendency, or 85 driving dunk tendency with a 95 on ball steal, which is kind of crazy. So Posterizer, definitely a key badge that he has to have. And I would also add a Deadeye on there. We have Sniper, we have Catch and Shoot, but we're going to have a slightly slow jumper. It is fast for a normal jump shot timing, but Deadeye definitely going to help him. And he actually has pretty solid defense. But after Posterizer and Deadeye, I would add a brick wall on there because it's going to help you, you know, play in the post. And because I suspect you're going to be running as a point guard, you're going to be dribbling a lot with him. Handles for days is going to be a really key badge to lowering how much stamina cost you have on there. So once you do the brick wall, stuff like that, handles for days is a really key badge that I think is going to help you out. You could switch it out for hyperdrive or quick chain, but I think lowering, you know, the stamina that those take is probably a bit better. Next, Caris LeVert, the jump shot 70 demon on quick. I absolutely love Caris LeVert cards because jump shot 70 is just so good to time. The easy badge to add, Posterizer. I mean, I'm telling y'all, they don't want to give cards Posterizer this year. It's just, I don't know, it's 2K. They don't want to do it. So, Posterizer, first badge that I would add, and I would also add Deadeye. I've talked about how quick jump shot 70 is, but Caris is going to be just a great card in general, and I want to boost that up. I would also give him the clamps, obviously, so we can play better on the perimeter out there. For those, what is it, 3 badges? 1, 2, 3. And then for our last 2, because we are a, you know, diamond out here, I think Intimidator and Menace would be great and really kind of boost up his all-around ability because he's already going to be a good slasher, a good shooter, a good playmaker. So give him clamps, Menace, and Intimidator and really capitalize on that defense. And I think this Caris LeVert is going to be a demon once you do that. Next, we have our wonderful man, Jusuf Nurkic, who's kind of known for his playmaking and his defense, and he's actually really good at that. I can't hate too much. But typical case we've been talking about the last few times, Posterizer. We are a 6'11" center. We don't have Posterizer. I mean, come on. 85 standing, 80 driving, and an 80 driving dunk tendency. I don't know why the standing is so low. It just doesn't make sense. But Posterizer, and I would also say Unstrippable. These 2 badges are some of the biggest for centers to really be great in the paint. So I think those 2 can actually really help out. And then adding a Sniper because he does have a 74 shot 3. So Sniper can really help and mix with Catch and Shoot and things like that. If you want to, for these last few badges, something like Deadeye can really help because Set Shot 8 is a little bit slow for that 4th badge out there. And then for that last one, I do think considering something like Clamps could be pretty nice to help him play defense on some other guys who get switched out. Quick first step and downhill are some badges you could think about as well because he has a very, very low speed. So having something, even in general, just making him feel a little bit snappier on the court could help. But I would say just embrace the slow, give him Clamps, and just see how it kind of rocks. Because Nurkic is good, but it's not, he's a little tough. Next is Miles Bridges, 6'6", 6'9" wingspan, really, really fun card, and finally a card that actually gets Posterizer out there, which is awesome to see. But that means that we can actually focus a little bit more on his offense and his defense and his shooting, which I really like because we're not going to be playmaking, base dribble style, pretty bad dribbling moves. But the first one that we got to add is Deadeye. Love it, but his jumper is a little bit slow. So giving him that Deadeye I think is going to be really crucial and making him a absolutely insane card. And I would also argue that giving him Blinders and Chef would also be huge. Blinders, you know, lowers those side contests, and Chef lets us shoot out from dummy deep. And if you really wanted to boost that up, actually instead of Chef, you could do Limitless Spot Up, or you could just give him all 4 in shooting and really boost it up. But I'll take that back. I would add Deadeye, Limitless Spot Up, and Blinders. I would ignore Chef. And then I would come down here and give him Pick Dodger and probably like Rim Protector, just because we have the ability to play him at the small forward. He has an 80 block and has a nice 6'9" wingspan to get those blocks. So Rim Protector, Pick Dodger, Limitless Spot Up, Deadeye, and Blinders for Miles Bridges. And the dude is going to be just an all-around demon, just as that base dribble style, which is going to be kind of tough. So, Trent Jr. Has one of the worst jumpers in the game, but has an 85 driving dunk, and we don't have posterizer, so y'all know the drill by now. He's got to get it added. So that's pretty good. Luckily, Trent actually gets Deadeye off rip, which is really nice to see, and actually has some pretty good defense. So the one badge I think I would add in defense is probably going to be this brick wall. Just boost that up a little bit, and then I think adding a limitless spot up chef and a blinders really could help him along with that. So we have the 5 key badges really to help him out. Posterizer, help those dunks. Brick wall, help us not get back down as much. Blinders, the side contest. We have a really bad jumper, so we want to make sure we have as little contest as possible. And then chef and limitless spot up so we can shoot out from deep, no matter where Trent is. Although I don't know how much shooting you're going to do with jump shot 18 because it's bad. It's bad. Last but not least, for our diamonds, we have Diamond Fournier, 6'9" with a 6'8" wingspan, and you guys know the drill by now, 80 driving dunk, and no posterizer with a 80 driving dunk tendency. I don't know why they do that. So, aside from that, for Fournier, I think giving him clamps, brick wall, and probably menace are going to be really, really nice, and even intimidator, honestly. If you wanted to fully boost up this Fournier, I think giving him posterizer for the one badge on offense could be really nice, boosting up his finishing because he's already a good shooter, and then just come out here, give him brick wall to limit those back downs, and if you run him at the small forward, he can actually set screens pretty well because he is 6'7", give him clamp so he has that better perimeter defense, menace so when he's playing the 2 guard, he's lowering the stats and the badges out on the perimeter, and intimidator so if he does get inside, you are lowering those contests, and I actually think they did an update so intimidator does certain jumpers that actually contest well, and I think once you do that, you can make Fournier kind of a 3-and-D option, which is really nice. They can still play make a little bit and pretty fun in general. Next up is Darius Garland, 75 driving dunk and no posterizer. Please give him posterizer. I think it's going to be really nice. It opens up his game a little bit and makes him a little bit closer to Lillard, which is really nice. And then, as you would expect, brick wall. You gotta add it on these shorter guards. It is such a helpful badge, limiting those backdowns when he's 6'1". Honestly, the biggest badge you have to add to this Darius Garland is brick wall. If you ignore everything else, brick wall. I would also add a menace just to lower those stats and those badges out on the perimeter. Really just help that out. And because aside from posterizer and the finishing, I don't really think anything's going to be too helpful. I probably would add a post move lockdown as well for our 4th badge out there just to help him out a little bit. And then for that last one, I think it's kind of up to you. I mean, Brim Protector is really not going to do too much. So if I had to pick, I'd probably go with Set Shooter just because it's a really nice badge. Helps you on those catch and shoots and just gives you that little bit extra ability to green it better. And you do that, Darius Garland now, on top of being one of the best offensive pink diamonds, can also play some defense. You'd love to see it. Next up, Domantas Sabonis, 6'11", and look at this, 90 standing dunk, 80 driving dunk, no posterizer. Add it. And actually, what I would say is on this wonderful Domantas Sabonis card, I think Deadeye is probably the biggest badge you can add to him because jump shot 10, we all know it, it's slow. If you've used Penny Hardaway, you know. Deadeye, probably the biggest badge you can add on here. It lowers those late contests and really helps you out. And then I would add a posterizer and probably an unstrippable fast twitch. I'll wait on it. I might have a defensive badge that I like better, but unstrippable and posterizer, just 2 of the best badges for big men, and mixed with that Deadeye is going to be really nice. And then for those last 2 badges, there are some that you can go ahead and pick. Clamps is one that I'm kind of debating because it's like, is Clamps going to help that 29 perimeter defense not feel as trash, or is the 29 perimeter defense going to make it so Clamps doesn't really feel good at all? Because the one fear that I have with Domantas Sabonis is that he's going to get burnt on the perimeter anytime he's out there, and that's kind of concerning. But I would take a chance and throw on Clamps for that 4th badge, and then maybe add a unpluckable so he doesn't get stripped as much, because he does have good playmaking, and I just want to boost that up a little bit, because I don't know, recently my centers have just been getting their pockets picked a bunch, so I'm trying to avoid that. So my picks: posterizer, unstrippable, Deadeye, unpluckable, and Clamps, and kind of see how it goes, because I think this Sabonis could be a good card, but that 29 perimeter is a little scary. Next up is VanVleet, one of my favorite players in the league right now. And now, I've said this a few times, above a 70 driving dunk is really where you want to add posterizer, or just 70 dunk in general. You can see we have a 65 here, and we actually don't have any tendencies for VanVleet, which means he's actually not even going to dunk, even if we give him posterizer. So that's pretty much a useless badge to add to him. But VanVleet does have the quick dribble style and that D-Wade combo, so adding some playmaking badges can be pretty nice. The one big badge that I'm noticing is missing is glue hands. Gotta add that, and I think is actually pretty helpful. So I would add probably glue hands, handles for days, quick chain out there to really boost up that dribbling. And I'm actually going to ignore hyperdrive because I think these 3 badges are a little bit more key in how well he's going to play. Then add most likely a blinders and a mismatch expert. Mismatch expert helps when you're getting switched on some screens. If any of the centers contest, anything above 3 inches taller than you contesting you actually boosts how well you can shoot. So with Fred VanVleet being 6'1", that's going to be a pretty useful badge. And then blinders, because the Giannis jumper is fast, but it can be easily contested from the side. Probably going to running this Freddie VanVleet around a lot of screens, which a lot of side contests are going to happen a little bit more frequently. So blinders can be super helpful. So in my opinion, blinders, mismatch expert, glue hand, handle for days, and quick chain. And Freddie VanVleet is probably going to be a good card, but I wish we could have that brick wall. It would really help. Next is Jaren Jackson Jr., probably the best card that dropped in this whole set, if I'm being 100% honest. This card is crazy good, especially on the defensive end. You kind of can just ignore these. Pickpocket can be nice with an 86 steal, but I don't think it's going to help you too much. So the first thing I would add is definitely a Deadeye on to Jaren Jackson Jr. Jump shot 109 is nice, but it is a little bit slow. Same jumper as Bamba. Going to be a little bit easier to contest it, so a Deadeye can really help you just, I don't know, chuck it out a little bit more consistently. We've talked about it before. Unstrippable is just one of those badges that really is helpful for big men. It helps you not get stripped whenever you're doing drop steps, post spins, or anything like that. Super helpful badge, especially mixed with Deadeye. Those two being pretty nice. These next badges, I think a quick first step really could help this Jaren Jackson Jr. feel a little bit faster, a little bit better, especially with that 85 speed and 77 speed with ball. Quick first step actually could be pretty nice. And again, I've said it a lot, my big men have just been getting stripped a lot, so something like Unpluckable, at least for me, has been super helpful, so I'm not getting stripped as much. You know, you could not run it yourself, but I personally like it, and I think it actually helps a bit. And then for this last one, I think something like a Pro Touch really could be kind of helpful. But, you know, that's up to you. Blinders also could be pretty nice, and I probably actually would lean towards that instead of Pro Touch. So, final answer, Unstrippable, Blinders, Deadeye, Quick First Step for those, and Unpluckable. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, boom, I can count correctly. There we go. Chris Middleton is up next. We kind of know Chris Middleton for his 3 and D ability, and he actually does that pretty well. This year, sadly, has that base dribble style. But what are we talking about? 80 driving dunk, 85 driving dunk tendency, even a 75 flashy, and no posterizer. So we definitely got to add that. I would say the 3 badges that I would add in defense are going to be Brick Wall, Interceptor, and Intimidator, just to boost that up and make his defense better. And then I'm actually going to take those last 2 badges that we can add and put them in Giant Slayer and Posterizer, because he's going to be a good enough playmaker, but what you're probably going to do with Middleton is kind of use him as a 3-and-D cone playing that too. So I think to just boost that up a little bit, Posterizer and Giant Slayer, so we can finish a little bit better, are going to be more helpful, I think, than adding something like Unpluckable or Downhill. Just my opinion, but I think that's the best way. And then last but not least, we have Galaxy Opal Devin Booker, who already is actually a demon, if we're being honest. I mean, Booker is already gross, but there are some ways we can make Booker just a little bit better. First off, starting with Giant Slayer, because he is a 6'6 guard. He's going to be getting the basket, and let's be honest, there's a lot of really good defensive centers at this point in the year, so Giant Slayer is becoming a more and more crucial badge to have out there on your players. So Giant Slayer for number 1. Brick Wall for number 2, because again, he is 6'6 and he has a 69 strength, so he's probably going to get pumped a little bit, which we don't really want. Rim Protector is another badge I think could be really helpful. He's a 77 block. He does have a 6'6 height, so I think Rim Protector definitely going to be a pretty crucial badge out there. And then the last 3, it's kind of just like, what do you want to add onto him? Limitless Takeoff I think could be really fun, so I'll add that as a 4th badge, just because you can, you know, just get some crazy dunks with it. And he has amazing finishing already, so I think it'd be pretty nice. And then, you know, you could add something like a post move lockdown, so you're not getting drop step as much, because again, Booker has a pretty low strength and the other badges aren't really too crazy. And then maybe toss it between something like a pogo stick, so you can jump a little bit more consistently with that Rim Protector, or maybe a rise up finisher. I probably would go pogo stick just so I can jump a little bit more, or maybe even a box, but I think my Booker's probably gonna be running, so I would go Brick Wall, pogo stick, and Rim Protector down there, right? Yeah, Rim Protector, and post move lockdown. There we go. I knew I was missing one. Rim Protector, post move lockdown, pogo stick, Brick Wall, and then probably Giant Slayer and Limitless Takeoff, and this Booker's gonna be gross. gross. This poker is going to be gross. So hopefully that helps you out. Again, if you want to check out the Hunt for Glory Lunar New Year cards, those will be linked in the description down below, so you can go ahead and check out how to badge these guys up. If you care about the rubies, I think most of these guys aren't really too great. The only one you should probably worry about getting is Trey Lyles, and he's already pretty good as he is. So I just did all the amethysts and above. If you guys didn't like that, I apologize. But all around, go ahead and grind these out. I would say if you're somebody who's personally not going to be worried too much about getting all these cards, I would say the fastest way to just jump through them is probably get Trey Lyles, then grab either your pick between Mo Bamba or Ayo, depending on what position you want. And then for the diamonds, grab Karis LeVert, and then grab Jaren Jackson Jr. If that's all you're going to do for the minimum, I think that's the minimum you should do to pick up those cards in the badge amount. Anyway, like the video, you guys did enjoy. Comment down below what you guys think of these badge app videos. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.